Hey guys, it's Izanagi, and today I am bringing to you 10 different boss damage loadouts you can be using in Destiny 2 for raids, dungeons, or even nightfalls. I will have the summary of DPS numbers shown right now. DPS numbers are based on a 20-second sustained DPS phase and are performed on Callie and not Carl. So they are going to appear lower than other content creators that use Carl. But I feel that Callie is superior because you have easy access to ammo with a banner. You don't have to clear an entire room to get the boss one-on-one with you. She has very high health. And the only downside I see is the 2x precision damage modifier. But all you have to do is divide your precision damage numbers by 2 to avoid that effect. And for anything like grenade launchers or rockets, you just aim at her body, not her head. Also, I just want to clarify, Adored is not the best sniper out there, but it's the most easily accessible one and provided a good baseline. You definitely can have better snipers out there. A God-rolled Acrius sniper rifle can outperform Adored by almost like 17%. I just tried to take out as much RNG out of this, and I can make future videos showcasing best in each special weapon category. I will now be going into more detail for each set, showing you what my DPS rotation looked like, and you can feel free to look at the timestamps in the description below to check certain sets out. Starting from the top, we have, everyone probably guessed it, Anarchy Slugs. It has been a meta staple that rose in popularity during Deepstone Crypt for the Taniks fight, and for these numbers I used a Vorpal Assault Mag first in last out that is obtainable through world drops or the Gunsmith. You can even pair it with a heritage and utilize a quick step to boost the DPS of this combo by around 34.69%. Now, just to go over a quick thing on what quick step is, that is where you run 2 slug shotguns and you simply shoot, swap, sprint, shoot. And the swap and sprint are done almost simultaneously so that you cancel the swap animation and allows you to fire that gun quicker, and you pretty much get 2 bullets in during the fire rate of this. It allows you to fire off both guns quicker than you would if you were just unloading one and then swapping to the other. I personally feel like this should be nerfed and taken a look at, but as long as it's in the game, that's optimal DPS combo if you're within range for a slug shotgun. Runner-up was Lament. This came with Beyond Light, and it blew pretty much all the swords out of the water right at the start. The burst DPS you get on the combo is insane, and then the sustained is actually really good. For this combo, you do the normal charged bonus where you block, perform 3 light attacks, and then the heavy. But then you follow it up by 3 regular light attacks. And after that 3rd one, you're going to hold block again. As soon as it blocks, you want to go ahead straight back into the combo. As you can see, it keeps cycling into itself. You do not need to be at full energy to do the burst combo. Next up, we have Deathbringer Adored. Deathbringer, with the new catalyst, became a much easier weapon to use for damage. It still does have some of a learning curve to it, and these numbers here are actually based on a pretty average performance. But to use Deathbringer, you simply want to aim a couple meters above the head of the target and release once it's directly above. And if you're really good, you can also reload right as you shoot to save more time as well. But I found that became a bit too micromanageable for me, and you can see in the background clip that I'm not reloading optimally. Now in this 20-second period, I did manage to sneak in 1 Adored shot, but the damage here was primarily from Deathbringer. Next up is Legend of Acrius with the Slug. So Legend of Acrius is honestly a bit of a forgotten weapon. It came year 1 Destiny 2 with the Leviathan, and honestly there's better close range options at this point. As you see, Anarchy with a Slug and Lament both outperform it, but that does not mean it's not usable. In order to do good sustained DPS, you don't necessarily need the catalyst if you have a Luna well like I was using here, but you're just gonna reload and shoot as you would with any other shotgun for sustained DPS. And for the most part, this weapon's it's still a very solid weapon, and you can even use it to delete any like key ads during in between damage phases. Next up is a Witherhoard Sword, another loadout that might seem to be outclassed by Lament as a close ranged option, but Witherhoard holds its own as one of the best ad clear weapons in the game, and because of that, that gives you a very versatile loadout you can use during bosses, where you can use Witherhoard to help clear out ads and be very ammo efficient. You can even throw on like a sniper and just do a double special loadout with the sword. Witherhoard makes it great, and you can even pair it to help make you Warmind cells if you use a Acrius weapon. Next up is Whisper and Adored. Whisper has always been the safe, sustained king because of its auto loading as long as you hit 3 precision shots, and the fact that you can be so far away from the boss because it's a sniper rifle. Its DPS has kind of dropped down, but as you see, all the other options we've had so far work pretty much from a close to maybe medium range for Deathbringer. But when you're at long ranges like you need for Garden of Salvation, Whisper is still a very valuable choice. Next up is Anarchy Adored, and once again, it's just another solid range option. Anarchy gives you that ammo efficiency that you might want during other parts of the encounter for helping clear ads, spawn trapping enemies, and there's not really much else I feel like needs to be said. Anarchy has always been a solid pick and definitely helps out wherever you can use it. Followed up, we have the Witherhoard and a linear fusion rifle. With the buff to linear fusion rifles, they now contend for some high damage. This is better when you want to use a weapon for a good amount of ad clear like with Witherhoard, but you want a strong sustained option with the linear fusion. I actually used this for my day 1 Templar clear before the challenge mode, and that was because linear fusions have great sustained damage, and Witherhoard was just help melting and keeping ads under control during the Templar fight the first time we were doing it. Next, we have one of my personal favorite ways to deal damage, and that is the Izanagi with a heavy grenade launcher. Izanagi's burden has always been a great burst option, and since the nerf to the reload speed, it hasn't been as great for sustained, but you can make up for that by using a auto-loading grenade launcher beside it. You're simply going to swap to the grenade launcher once the round is loaded into the chamber, and you effectively skip some of that animation. The shoot to reload for Izanagi's lines up almost perfectly with a heavy grenade launcher, so that you can just shoot, reload, swap, fire off your grenade launcher, shoot again. Very ammo efficient, and it really helps if you need to delete some key targets, because Izanagi's runs off of special ammo rather than heavy as Acrius would. And finally, we have 1K voices with Adored. This was just a fun exotic I wanted to include on here since it is one of my favorites, and it does have better sustained DPS than Xenophage. Their damage numbers actually stay relatively the same until you calc in Xenophage's reload speed. And the other thing is 1K actually has really good ammo economy as long as you're using scavengers, because you can, I'm pretty sure, pick up like 4 bricks at a time, which is over 50% of its base magazine. And that's all I got. So as you can see, the numbers aren't too far off from each other. It's about, the Slug Anarchy is about 20% over the average, whereas 1K is only about 10% less than the average based on these loadouts that I selected. Go ahead in the comments down below, let me know if there was any loadouts I have missed that you love using, And I wanted these numbers to be accessible, not necessarily relying on god rolls, because not everyone has a appended mag, 4 times the charm, high impact reserves, Icalos they could turn to, or a reconstruction Vorpal appended mag succession. If you'd like to see what the max damage ceiling we could push for these, I would happily do some damage testing for god rolls. And if you'd like to see other lengths for damage phases, I chose 20 seconds just because it was a pretty average time. Like, you have Templar, which can be as long as you need it to be, as long as your block teleports. You have Atheon, which is 30 seconds. Kali seems to be around 15-20 seconds. So that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.